We just got the very first Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teaser trailer along with the Steam page and a bunch of brand new images, giving us our very first look into Chapter 5 along with a brand new roaming AI being none other than a Huggy. Yes, we have a whole bunch of things to talk about, so without further ado, let's just go and hop into the trailer reaction and then go break down the trailer and then hop on over to the Steam page where you go and read everything out. We just got our very first Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teaser, and this is it right here. It's only 45 seconds long, and I haven't seen anything on it. No thumbnails, no spoilers, literally nothing like that. And I am so ready to hop into this and see this for the very first time. So I'm gonna stop yabbering, stop talking. I already did the whole intro thing already, I bet. And let's just go and see this for the first time. Wait, I'm also gonna make sure the quality's up because I don't want to play this in like terrible quality. Okay, this is the best quality I think we got for now. Let's see this. I am hyped. Okay. Smiling critters, Yarnaby, Catnap, Catbee. Okay, they're cooking. The labs, they're so cooking here. Okay. Oh, I cannot. Brawn. Okay, are we actually gonna be seeing other characters too? Huggy's hand. The prototype! And Lava too. That is so cool. Did we see his face for a second? Press me a Poppy Playtime actual, like, cardboard cutout. That's the first time we're actually seeing that, and it's so old too. That's it. I was expecting so much more. Wishlist now on Steam. They have a Steam page. There's a Steam page. Okay, so first of all, we have lots to go and talk about. Like, first of all, this is definitely the labs. This is a crazy teaser. Of course, we're going to be going and talking about the Steam page after that too. But in this teaser, they didn't really give us any huge character reveals or anything kind of crazy. It just meant to show us kind of the labs and the different environments of the chapter. It did give us a little bit more on what the prototype did look like, along with showing the very first Poppy Playtime cardboard cutout. So without further ado, let's just go and actually hop into this video and actually go down into a full breakdown for this all. Okay, for the trailer, it is definitely, first of all, really interesting. The very first shot shows this hospital-looking room, and as you guys can see, there is art on the wall. So the very first thing that you could go and point out is that kids are supposed to be seeing this area, meaning that most likely the doctors will be taking the kids through these rooms for either physical or just testing out different things along with that. We can see with the artwork on the wall, you can see Catbee, Yarnaby, and Catnap all on top of what looks like Boxy Boo, because it's a whole blue box with a star in it, making the whole line, which is really interesting how they're mainly using cat-like characters on there. I just found that pretty interesting, and that they just keep using those characters repeating. But besides that, it looks really cool. I really do love the lighting. You can see some water dripping, showing how damaged this whole place is with some red doors. But when you go and zoom into that, you can actually see this looking like cart-like machine. This can either be to help lift different materials throughout the whole place, or it could literally just be a hospital bed that you, of course, can move to different rooms. It does look like it has two eyes, making the whole cartoony looking like thing, so kids could be, you know, all comfortable with it, which is really cool and fitting. I really like how they're going back into that. But after that, the next shot here is also not as interesting, but it's definitely something really cool. It's just another room of the actual hospital, most likely the testing grounds. You can see lots of the different equipment around with some cabinets, but there's nothing really crazy in this scene. It's literally just another room, just showing the nice design work. As it slowly zooms in, it switches to the next room. And this room is what I like to think is the most important room in this entire trailer, because it seems very simple. At the end of the day, it actually holds like a lot of secrets, because if you look on the floor to the right, you can see Huggy Wuggy's hands, and that's not just a glove. It's not just a random piece. It could just be that. They could just throw it there, but as you guys can see, it is Huggy Wuggy's hand, and we do know that ruined Huggy is missing a hand. And you can see almost some blood and scratches on the floor, meaning this could be the room and area that either the prototype or whoever fixed up Huggy went and fixed up Huggy as he was dying after the fall. That's what I like to do think that this whole area is. I do think that they went and brought Huggy here to go and fix him, since this is looking like a hospital type room, so it would definitely be fitting. But you guys can definitely let me know what you guys do think about that whole part. But the next shot is also even more interesting. Maybe not the most interesting, but you can see a whole bunch of red looking lava substance all over the floor. And after doing a whole bunch of deep dive analysis with Sheep for like a while looking at this whole entire teaser trailer, he thinks that this is of course the Poppy gel, and I definitely want to go and agree with that because it's red, it's kind of glowing, and it doesn't look like it's lava or burning anything. So it definitely looks like this could be the Poppy gel since it's red. It's just moving and pulsating, as we can see in the background, the prototype walking. And it is just so cool. It's of course the same shot in chapter 4 when the prototype was walking, but it's still just really cool to see a little bit more of the prototype and how he potentially might be a roaming AI. I have no entire idea. The teaser does kind of show that it could be a roaming AI just walking around the whole Playtime Co factory, or mainly the whole hospital section, but it does look really cool to see the prototype just there walking about. As we go to switch to the very last scene, showing the very first cardboard cutout ever made being Poppy Playtime. I'm just assuming this is the first cardboard cutout because of course Poppy is, the first toy. It looks very old with the font here and even the button and the artwork. It just looks like some old Playtime Co artwork. As you can see, Poppy's is there. It says, "Press me," as of course this assumed Poppy gel is on fire, and we do know the Poppy smoke is flammable, so why not the Poppy gel also be flammable? So we can see all this being on fire as the cardboard cutout slowly gets burned, as you hear screaming and voices in the background. But in the middle of the teaser, when you go and actually pause it for a split frame, you can see a glitched frame having the whole promotion image of the prototype holding that broken Poppy head kind of faded in the background. That's pretty difficult to tell, but you could obviously still see it there, with the words saying, "A needle pulls a thread, the body writhes on the table," with quotations with someone saying, "Is this it? Is this life?" Footsteps echo off the manor floor, with quotations again being, "What do I do now? Where do I belong?" The eyes glued to the screen. Transformation and rebirth. Then it says, "You think you know what he wants. You don't know anything. Not yet." This is probably either the prototype or Poppy coming to life. Most likely the prototype, since it says you do not know what he wants. And it seems like everybody either A, thinks the prototype wants power, wants to control the whole factory, or he really wants Poppy. So it's either we think he wants Poppy, but it turns out we don't know what he actually wants, or he wants power and doesn't actually want Poppy. So sadly, this is all we got for this whole little secret thing, but it's definitely something to think about since it most likely means that he actually wants Poppy, and it seems like it's the only thing he actually cares about. But if you guys did make it to this part of the video, it will mean the world to me if you guys could go and subscribe. Subscribing really goes and helps out the channel, and I will keep you guys up to date in everything Poppy Playtime related, giving you guys all the newest news, leaks, trailers, everything you could think of on this channel. So it will really mean the world to me. But let's go back to the video. As it goes and fades to black, giving us the reveal for the Big O 5, Chapter 5, and you can now wishlist it now on Steam or the Epic Store as the trailer fades to black. Now, I don't have the Steam page exactly right here, so we'll be using the Epic Store Steam page to go and read the description and go check the images. If you guys are interested, these are the required specs. Doesn't look too crazy. It's, pretty reasonable. The storage also being 60 gigabytes or over 20 gigabytes is pretty crazy and will probably go down. I definitely do not think this chapter is going to be as big as chapter 4. In my opinion, I feel like it might be like a chapter 3 level length game, which is totally fine, but it could be even bigger, which would be absolutely insane. But the description says, Chapter 5. Face off against the deadly puppet master behind the horrifying events of Playtime Co. In the latest terrifying chapter of the Poppy Playtime saga, you are propelled further into the gruesome depths of the factory, with Playtime Co.'s security system Huggy Wuggy in hot pursuit. This line is absolutely crazy, showing that one, Huggy Wuggy is most likely going to be a roaming character hunting us throughout the entire chapter. And also confirms that Huggy Wuggy is of course the security system that they did talk about in chapter 1, so that is just something really amazing to see. But then it says, abandoned by your only allies, your fight for survival gets all the more challenging as you race further into the abyss that is his domain, where shadows whisper and the puppet master, who lords over this realm, pulls the strings of madness. Can you stand against evil and finally put an end to this nightmare? Every bloody move forward will test your resolve as you uncover secrets years in the making. This is, first of all, crazy. It's definitely making it seem like this is some type of final chapter shenanigans, as of course saying abandoned by your only allies, showing all this stuff. Also, every bloody move is just funny. I wasn't expecting them to actually say that, but it's just so cool. When it says features, it says feature stomach-curdling terrors awaits you in this new section of the factory as you uncover the dark worlds hidden within the prototype's stomping ground. In this chilling new layer of the Playtime factory, you will encounter the tortured denizens living in the darkness. They may aid you in your quest to defeat the prototype, but can they be trusted? Showing that we will be meeting, of course, new toys and new characters, or they call it new denizens, but can they be trusted? And also calling the prototype the Puppet Master, and this is being his domain, it makes sense that we will most likely see the prototype in this chapter, which is going to be really cool. But it says solve devious puzzles and overcome dangerous environments, obstacles with the power of new grab pack tools and functionalities. As you reach the true rotten heart of the center of playtime, you will discover some of the company's greatest sins. Will you escape this new realm of shadow with your sanity intact, or will you succumb to the horrors within? This is hands down one of the best descriptions I think I ever read for a Poppy chapter. This description looks and sounds so cool. Also confirming that we will be getting new grab pack tools and new functionalities, as it says, which is first of all great for gameplay, something that chapter 4 sadly did not really have, but it looks like this chapter will be having. And even the availability date says it'll be releasing in 2026. So first of all, it is confirmed we are getting it in 2026. Sadly, we don't know when, but hopefully a little bit early on to mid 2026. But let's just go and actually look at the images here, because of course it is a lot more interesting, with the very first one being the player walking away from Huggy Wuggy himself. Of course, you can see the ruined Huggy in the halls with, of course, the same artworks as we already see here, and just a little bit more of the factory, showing that Huggy Wuggy most likely will be a roaming AI, and this is just some crazy cool news. We can see some more photos of the tunnels, and seeing how more finished these images look, it looks so cool. I really do love how this is the area that kids don't go to, so you can see how dark and messed up it looks, but then the areas that the kids do go to, you can see the artwork and everything there. We see another image of a whole bunch of ruins and everything just all in shambles as it gets destroyed, with some red lights below glowing, most likely being the Poppy gel. Another image of, most likely this is like the waiting room where you go and wait to go put your kids in, of course, in a hospital. It looks like it. You can see the big Playtime Co logo as everything's just red, blue, and yellow. I really do love the old aesthetic of this, and that's why I know this might be my favorite chapter. Who knows? From the looks of it so far, my hypes are up to the sky with this. Another image is just a whole bunch of ruins and a whole bunch of destroyed stuff. You know, nothing really much except for it being a whole bunch of stuff being destroyed. And then the last image here, it looks like something straight out of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, and this is why I love it so much. It's some behind the scene look of everything being colorful, and then the walls being torn apart to be showing the darker side of it below. Most likely being a testing room or some area that the kids would go and play and chill. Something like Playcare-esque, and that's the reason why I think it's really cool. Also, this is how the thumbnail does look for the whole teaser video, and this is the Poppy Playtime cardboard cutout burning up, but I thought that's really cool to go and mention. And the second version of the thumbnail has also been revealed, showing the broken, withered Playtime Co floor with a whole bunch of blood, ripped up papers, with the prototype's hand going and reaching out to a big 5 that's all full of this veiny substance that was also in the teaser, most likely being the Poppy gel. Just looking really cool, and I gotta admit, this is such a cool thumbnail and a cool 5. I gotta say, it's really cool and unique, but I definitely want to go mention that since it looks really cool. But that's really gonna be it for this video. You guys could go and let me know in the comments below, what do you guys do think about the brand new teaser, Steam page, description, and of course, all the brand new secrets you just found out, along with Huggy literally being a roaming AI. This is just so much news to talk about, and I am just so excited for this chapter. Literally, the build up and everything so far has been really good, and I'm really excited. I'm really happy what they're doing with this chapter so far. So you guys can go and let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this latest chapter? And also, you guys can let me know, what do you think about Huggy potentially being a roaming AI, us potentially finally being able to see the prototype, and of course, us being closer and closer to the reveal of Chapter 5. Don't forget to go and watch this video here to see other type of teasers, this video here to see the brand new artwork that just came out that also hides some more Chapter 5 secrets. They might confirm some brand new characters, and of course, this video here for other Poppy Playtime news.